is there anything prettier than freshly polished silver? I just love the look of it. Ugh, I think things aren't tarnished, you know, but then I polish them and they're brilliant. Let me show you my super easy method for polishing silver-plated silver. The first thing you do is just fill a pot with water, bring it to a boil, and for a pot this size, I add 2 tablespoons of baking soda to the water. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, I whip myself up a sink full of sudsy water. Then you just want to wad up a wad of aluminum foil, no certain size, but I'll usually loosely wad it. Throw it in your pot of hot water. I've got 2 pots going here. Super easy. Then, using a pair of tongs, I take one of my silver bells and I just plop it down in the water. I'm going to fill these up with as many bells as I can fit in here. Depending on how badly tarnished these are, I'll let them boil for a couple of minutes. These are slightly tarnished, they're not bad. So I'll let them boil for a couple of minutes and it just magically gets rid of the tarnish. Sometimes if things are heavily tarnished, I'll have to leave them in there longer and maybe even treat them twice. Give these a quick check, just lift them out. Careful, don't let that hot water run down your tongs on your hand. Ask me how I know. Okay, this one's good. So I just take them as they come out, just plop them down in my water. This one looks good. Let me get them all out. Here's an example of one that needs a little bit longer. I don't know if you can tell or not, but it still has yellowish tarnish on it. So I'm gonna let it sit just a little bit longer. Now, as you do this, my phone is not in focus. There we go. As you do this, you might notice your water starts to get a little bit gray. You can even tell it in here maybe a little bit better. And that's just the tarnish coming off of the silver. So sometimes I will, if I'm doing quite a few pieces, I will replace the tin foil, which I have in this one. This is my second wad of tin foil in here. If I was going to do another batch after this, I would even dump the water out, start over, fresh water, fresh baking soda, fresh tin foil. Okay, now I'm just taking them out of the hot water, out of the water. I'm not even washing them with a sponge. This one's missing its clapper. And just, I'm gonna set them over here to the other side of my sink. Do all of these. Then I just give each piece a good rinse in water as hot as you can stand it. Make sure you rinse all the suds off. You don't want to leave any suds. And I'll just put them over here to drip dry. And here they all are. Look how gleaming and shiny and pretty they are. Now, let me tell you something. I was afraid to do this. This is my second or third year doing this. My last step is to take them and dry them all off with a very soft cloth. I want to make sure I don't leave any drops of water on them that would dry. I was afraid, honestly, the first time I did this, I was afraid it would remove some of the silver plating. However, I don't think it is. I think if it was removing any silver plating, I would see some of it floating around. Hey, Zoe. I would see some of it floating around in the water, and I don't see that at all. So pretty, right? In case I have any stubborn areas that don't come clean, and that does happen for things that are especially heavily tarnished, I will clean it up with my silver polish. And this is my favorite brand of silver polish. This was recommended to me years ago by one of the high-end jewelry stores that we have in town that also sells sterling silver.